Welcome back to the Ark Survival Guide. Today we're going to show you the best locations to find beaver dams on the Genesis 2 map, where you can get hundreds of cementing paste, silica pearls, rare flowers, and thousands of wood in no time at all. And we're going to show you some super easy, safe locations to find those beaver dams where you're not going to have any trouble at all looting them and getting tons of easy materials. Please like and share this video, comment and subscribe to this channel, and ring that bell for all notifications so you don't miss our next video. And let's get started! So before we get started, let me give you a couple quick tips on stealing from beaver dams. So first of all, open up the beaver dam and immediately start hovering with your jetpack, because most likely there's a lot of angry beavers on their way to try and chomp you and eat you, and usually they're hiding in the water right near the beaver dam. So have an escape plan, get the beavers to chase you far away from the beaver dam, and then you can have free, easy access to all of the goodies inside. Also, make sure you empty out the beaver dam completely so that it breaks, otherwise it will not respawn and you won't get any new materials. So even if you don't want to use the wood, dump it all on the ground, it'll break, they'll build another beaver dam sometime pretty soon. And it's also a good idea to keep all the beavers alive, because as long as they're alive, they'll keep building more beaver dams over time. It takes a while for beavers to replace their dams, so it's a good idea to build a little outpost with a bed so you can teleport back, check around, see if there's any new ones, steal the ones that are there, and then keep repeating that process, and you'll have all the cementing paste you need for the rest of your game. Also, beavers are really hard to spot, and a lot of times you'll miss them even if they're right there because they hang out underwater. So it's a really good idea to use the visor on your tech suit. Just hold down the R key and toggle that visor, and it'll do a pulse that goes out and it'll highlight all the beavers in white, and as you fly over them and get close enough to them, they're easy to spot in the water. Now before I show you all the individual locations, here is the Ark Wiki spawn map showing all the places you can find beavers on the Genesis 2 map. And if you happen to live closer to another location, you can definitely look there for beavers and beaver dams, but some of these places are pretty dangerous, so I'll go through each of these main locations and show you which ones are good places to find beavers and which are really not a good idea. So in the Genesis 2 map, there is this big lake just north of the Tech Trench, and that is the absolute best place to find beavers. There's two large groups of islands in the middle of that lake, and each of those groups of islands has lots of beavers that spawn all around it. I think I've found like 8 or 10 beavers at any given time all around these two islands. So it is a great place to keep an eye out for beaver dams, and I'll show you a bunch of the locations where we're spotting beavers underwater as we're flying around, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about this spot. So this is actually a great place to spawn on Genesis 2, or at least build an outpost, because if nothing else, there are so many beaver dams you can loot over here. You can get thousands of cementing paste in no time at all if you build a little outpost on top of one of these plateaus. So I highly recommend doing that, even if you don't start your Genesis adventure here. But there's also lots of really good resources right around these lakes. There's Hesperornis that you can club to get tons of polymer, which you're going to be probably using with that cementing paste as you're building stuff. There are tons of otters around here and lots of silica pearl deposits, so you can get all the pearls you need. And there's lots of flat, easy places to build that aren't going to have anything dangerous attacking you up here. And it's also a great place to just tame yourself a beaver, because even if you don't have a beaver saddle for a long time, once you tame a beaver, you can immediately have it follow you, and as soon as you park it next to a tree, it will automatically harvest that tree to get tons of wood. So even if you're level 1, having a beaver is one of the fastest ways to gather wood in Ark. Now this next beaver location is not bad if you live on the southern side, so all the way from the Tech Trench, following this river up to this huge waterfall, there's actually beavers all along this river on both sides, and it's not as dangerous over here, so you've got a much better chance of having beavers still be alive than a lot of these locations. Now the first one I showed you is definitely your best chance at finding living beavers, but check it out, we've got a couple beaver dams all along this river here, and there's a pretty decent chance of finding them still alive over here. And if we follow this river all the way up to this waterfall in this big lake, anywhere along this body of water you can still find beavers and beaver dams all the way across here, all the way up to this lake itself. And this lake is actually a pretty cool spot to live. There's some really good metal deposits and other stuff right around this lake. So if you're looking for a spot with beavers and lots of other resources, this is not a bad place, but you will find some crocs and other baryonyx and stuff like that around here. So even though this is not my #1 recommendation for where to find beavers, you can actually find a good bit of them around here, and if you're living in the southern side of the map, it's not a bad option. Now every beaver location from here on is going to be much more dangerous, but I'll show you some more just in case they're close to your house. Now there's another very similar river heading down to the east from the tech trenches, but I really don't recommend this area. So here's the location right here, but honestly, I've only found one beaver dam around here, and the beaver was pretty well dead at that point because it is not a beaver-friendly location. So this area is much more swampy. You're going to find a lot of crocodiles, spinos, baryonyx, all kinds of dangerous stuff around here, and usually I've found most of the beavers are already dead by the time I get over here. But if you explore this whole area and check every area that there's some land, you might find some beaver dams over here, if you happen to live over here. But this is one of my least recommended areas to find beaver dams on Genesis 2, just because it is so dangerous around here, and there's so much nasty stuff that's just going to eat everything. Now this next beaver location is a great spot if you live up north, but it is still pretty dangerous and you're going to have a hard time finding beavers that are still alive. So we're starting from this huge waterfall and heading further north along this river. We're going to go past these other two waterfalls, and this whole lake below this plateau has lots of beavers in it, if they're still alive. Now there's a lot of dangerous stuff in this lake that's going to have a really easy time eating all the beavers, so you will find some most likely, but you'll also find a lot of stuff that wants to eat those beavers. So it's definitely a decent place to check. There's quite a lot of beavers that spawn over here, but there's a lot of dangerous stuff that's going to eat them in the process, and it's going to be a little harder for you to actually get them. But if you happen to live on the north side of the map, this is a great option for checking to see if there's any beavers that are alive, and that plateau right above this lake is a great place to build on because you can just hover down, grab all the stuff you want, and then head back up to your little outpost. So definitely a decent option if you're looking to build an outpost near some beavers, and it's actually really close to that really massive structure that's a cool place to build up here in the north. So that is actually every single location where beavers can spawn on the Genesis 2 map. But I hope this really helped you out, and I hope you get a lot of great loot from beaver dams using this guide. And let me know in the comments which is your favorite location to find beavers on Genesis 2, and I'd love to hear how your Genesis 2 adventure is going so far. And keep an eye out for lots more helpful Genesis 2 guides. We're going to do a lot more resource location guides, and we'll have some other creature spawn locations, like things like ankylosaurs, beavers, dung beetles, bees. Those are all coming up soon. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel and you've hit that bell and enabled all notifications, otherwise it probably won't tell you when those next guides come out. And hopefully we'll see you really soon on the next guide, which will probably come out in the next day or two. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it around. That helps us out a lot. And drop a comment. We love hearing from you. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and ring that bell to enable all notifications, because we have lots more videos like this coming out really soon, and you won't want to miss any of them. We already have tons of other videos for you to watch right now, so check these out. And until next time, stay safe, have fun, and we will see you in the next video.